Hi, we now have chapter 101 of One Punch Man. This one is titled Zombie Man. Zombie Man is on the cover. I cannot be happier as a big fan of Zombie Man. I think his whole character is so cool. He's so out of place in so many ways. He's like a logical thinker, he's investigative. His power level is reasonable. He just has that one supernatural twist that he'll always revive. Uh, so good. Look at this. He's just walking through with an axe. With an axe. He's laying waste to monsters. His evasion was planned so that their numbers would be spread between us. He's just soloing whole rungs of lower tier monsters. He throws like some sort of explosive and then shoots it. That's cool. He's like a Resident Evil protagonist or something, you know? And in those games, when you die, you just keep going. That's what he is. He's just like the protagonist. He's the reasonable protagonist if this was a video game. Just like Saitama is the reasonable protagonist if this was like a gag manga. And Garu is the reasonable protagonist if this was like Yu Yu Hakusho or something. You know, it's like all of these characters, they make sense. They really do make sense. But not just all together. Genos, of course, could be a character. He's just basically Mega Man. Here we see Zombie Man completely skewered. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm just not worried. Look at that. He just casually sliding his arms down the tentacles that are penetrating him. I said tentacles that are penetrating him, but you know that's not what I meant. You know that in a gory way, but not in a sexual way. Detective, I'm good at intelligence gathering. See, an invaded zone. I'm a man. Fighting is not my thing. That's what I'm saying. He's a detective. He just wants to investigate. Oh, that's so good. Oh, this shot is so good. Oh, man. Just walking out covered in blood with the axe and the gun. God, he's so cool. I mean, I'm not usually super into characters like this, or like horror movies. And I don't like play Resident Evil or anything like that. But when they just like nail the character so well, that kind of archetype, I'm into it. Oh man, it's so tiring. Exceptional survival power. It's a zombie indeed. You even stand a chance against that one. Interesting, interesting. So this big horde of monsters seems interested in him, especially this kind of wise-looking one out front. Decides to take him in peacefully. They want to see if he's a challenge against that one. Could it be Homeless Emperor? But there's someone that Zombie Man fights. Yeah. I think he first fights the pureblood vampire, right? So yes, this definitely... And I was gonna say earlier, I swear, I meant to say this. But it just looks more and more appropriate. This page here, where it's like kind of the 2D thing, this reminded me a lot of Castlevania. The big arches in the background, the axe, the kind of way that the enemies are posing themselves as they come in and attack, and the fact that just one man is plowing through all of them, even though his power, his actual strength behind his attacks is so much less. And look at this. All of this is just perfect vampire territory. Like the carpet laid out, the candles. Dude, he's gonna be Vampire Slayer. Kill him, you're doing us a favor. Oh. Is it because he's always feasting on them? You know, and they're sick of having their friends just die randomly because the boss is hungry? Something like that? I know it'll be a pain in the ass. Dude, it's just... Oh, all these Castlevania tropes. Look at him open the door like that. Alright. It's vampire fight. I knew it. Not just because it was in the original. But the subtle atmospheric choices. Oh, this is a cool page. Damn, that's a cool page. And maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but for somebody who keeps going on and on about being a detective, and then you see the big bat kind of symbol, it's kind of like Batman, you know? I don't know. Whatever. All right, it's the vampire, the pure blood vampire. Good luck, great hero. Everyone is just streaming in to watch the fight. Look at all these monster designs. Each and every one of them has something a little unique going on. Something a little creepy that nobody else has. And especially like this weird tortoise hydra thing. And what kind of looks like a Mickey Mouse Disney dog over here, but zombified. Burns and Fargak. Envy. Simpletons like you always make the same mistake. You exist on different levels, but you think you can compensate with petty tricks. No. You're like so hard countered by the zombie man. And they do it so funnily in the original too, where he's just like trying to suck zombie man's blood, but it tastes disgusting. I love that. A hero ranked at the strongest level of S class. I mean, even on monsters and hated by all the vampire pureblood. Whichever one dies, we win. Let's gang up on him and tear him apart. Smart. These little monsters are smart, especially this guy with all the faces. Every face coming up with good ideas. Little knowledge of interest in the mundane world. Name yourself. I am this kind of guy. Oh, he's so cool. Alright. So Pureblood immediately with the vampire attack. Biting him right in his jugular. The blood spraying out already. But we know. We know how delicious. What a feast. This blood, I have never tasted anything so awful. It's certainly unsuitable to feed. Is this the weakest S class ever? No. Oh, look at that. The way he slumps forward. Just like a zombie. I don't know, something about that, something about people making like really kind of uncoordinated lurching movements when they're about to fight, when there's something intimidating behind it, and yet there's no like real smoothness to it. It's just kind of, so I'm thinking here specifically of Q in Street Fighter 3. I think is a fantastic example of this kind of fighting technique. And here too, Zombie Man just lurches his whole body into action. Oh, I love it. Noble existence before your eyes is unique even within the Monster Association. I am a true monster. A Lord Vampire. Yes. You have quite the reputation. He has to reload too. Just the human elements of his problems are so different. That's a fast reload though. It shows the previous cartridges or magazines or whatever didn't even hit the ground by the time he gets the new ones out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, it's like human coolness. So like flame bullets or something he's firing? I guess that's why they had these like warning stripes on them. Maybe they're like extremely explosive. Oh, catching bullets is already passe. That's pretty good. This has all the kind of bravado of kind of like a gangster action movie. But of course it's a zombie versus a vampire. Throws the bullets back. Zombie Man's brains spilling out, looking like a Yu Yu Hakusho scene. Perfect performance plus. Oh my god. There's a huge hole in his head. Something that one hero is reputed to be immortal. Just like those in the strong are not real monsters. You yourself aren't a real human. He's back. He's just back. Zombie Man's back already. He pulls out the swords. Hey, not bad. Looks like he's got some sword technique. It's not like Atomic Samurai level, but it's going well. It's a lot better than like when Luffy picked up a sword, for example. You have nothing besides it to boast of. Yeah, he's not really landing any hits here, though. And one strike from the vampire. Look at that. He has, like, blades of his own. Whipping something out of his coat? I don't really know how this is a vampire power, but he's able to make, like, a blade from his cloak. It's pretty badass, at any rate. Phew, that was cool. He lands on the blade and then kicks him in the head. Kicks his head off, perhaps? Whoa! But Zombie Man, from behind the back, firing off another shot. So this starts to ask some questions about the nature of Zombie Man's immortality, right? Like, he's seen fixing flesh wounds. Flesh wounds heal over, even if they take out the entirety of his head, making him better than most zombies in fiction. But here, if he breaks his neck, can he just, like, fix that? Is that okay? Or... Alright, he got one hit in. Whoa! He does not take kindly to haters. Oh, but the blood resurrects him. Right, of course. Such as a vampire. Alright, so Zombie Man cracked his head back. Wow, his arm was pretty messed up too. I didn't even notice that. Wow. So it's because he was doing it at a weird angle, I think. The recoil from the gun and the explosive bullets completely broke his arm. So basically, Zombie Man is going to have to fight this guy until not only he is dead, but his entire stock of monsters around him is dead as well. Now he's using Bat Transformation. Seems pretty cool. Just Gatling gunning Zombie Man into tiny little smithereens. Other people getting caught up in the fire. Monsters getting sucked dry. Monster blood, I guess, somehow more tasty than Zombie Man blood. Sure. Actually look like a traditional zombie. Oh, ew. Ew. Zombie Man just resurrected. He just restored his skin over top of one of the vampire bats. Ew. Oh, it's so gross, but okay. Really hate physical work. But I guess there's no choice. For one messy fight. Oh, man. I don't even know if I want to read this. When the muscle was sealing up over the bat, that was pretty gross. I don't know if I was down for that. And things might get a lot worse before they get better in this messy fight. Okay, so this is, I think, how it happened in the original, right? It just cuts to black. 30 minutes later. Just beating the blood out of each other. You won some 200 times, I believe. And now I won once. I thought all the other monsters would be dead, too. I guess at a certain point he was a little too distracted to just feast on them. And all the bats are dead. Now I won once. Oof. So many ways you could have won. Stupid guy. Alright, so now the monsters, as they planned, are going to tag team him. Try to finish him off by doing an all-out attack. Oh! But Zombie Man, he wasn't escaping. He was just sealing off the door. He's tired of wandering around looking to kill monsters. He just wants to kill all the monsters now. Now you're trapped here with me. Wah, zuzuzu, go, go. Gya, gyata, do. These are all sound effects. Boku, boki pan pan, dos. Holy crap. With the big chunk taken out of his head, the slice. Jesus. Oh my god. Alright, messy fight. That was a very messy fight. Most of his skull is visible. Make the ribs more seeable. Oh, lordy, lordy. A serious hurt. I guess I'll take a few minutes. Bleeding is one thing. Most of all, I hate sweating. Damn, this guy is so cool. I don't know. I'm really appreciating how much effort is put into these side fights. These fights that were resolved in the original within like 1 or 2 panels. We get an entire chapter with his arm falls. With like so much atmosphere too, you know? Like when they did the battle on the bridge with the ninjas, like even though it's roughly the same setting, it's still the Monster Association. All these small choices that they put together in order to really sell the atmosphere of it, in order to really make you feel like you were in that type of movie with those type of characters. And then same with the Child Emperor versus Phoenix Man fight. Like it seemed like, you know, one of those super over-the-top robot series versus a mascot villain that might show up in one of those over-the-top robot series. And then here, this is just straight up Castlevania, Evil Dead, Resident Evil, like all of those tropes being squished together into one fantastic, horrific romp. We've secured Wangama, we're heading to the surface. Stick to the plan and keep the monsters busy. Don't chase them too far. They have powerful ones in the ranks. Okay, so that's their strategy. Is they don't want to do the full-on engagement. They just want to get the hostage, get out, and then probably nuke the whole thing from orbit. So it seems like they're close to mission accomplished. But we know Monster Association arc is just getting started. Zombie Man allows himself to crack a small smile. Boy's doing a good job. It's decided. Gotta get back to work. Putting the cigarette out on himself. That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm good now. Time to pick up another fight. Alright. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Another great battle. And now we see a hint. Chapter 102. It looks like it's going to be the sadism villain Super S or whatever versus Sweet Mask, perhaps. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. And you will be able to watch me read that tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.